von der Westhölsen.
Tian Swanepoel and in the wing. Superb flick.
In die rechtervleugel.
A strong fin.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us. We are at St. John's College. It is halfway through the year almost. It's the 1st of June, and we're about to kick off the first team game between the hosts, St. John's College, and the visitors from the Midlands, Michaelhouse. It's been quite a spectacle of a day for the visitors. Very, very successful in pretty much all the age groups. So they're really here with a vengeance, and for St. John's, they'll be looking to finish off the day with a victory from them. My name is Lucky Letsabo, and joining me in commentary today is Fiso Nyao.
Yes, of course, Lucky. It's a very fabulous day for schoolboy rugby today. Of course, it's a big derby between St. John's College and Michaelhouse. We do look forward to it. Of course, Michaelhouse have rather dominated many of the other rugby fixtures, but of course, we have seen St. John's, the first side, being really, really dangerous, as we've seen some of the results, especially that big one against Kes a few weeks ago, with St. John's pulling it back right at the end there. And one thing we shouldn't forget as well is that Michaelhouse and St. John's rather on great form against Michaelhouse, winning 2 years in a row. So they'll be looking to make it a third. And of course, the boys from the Midlands will of course look to dent the hopes of St. John's College as well.
Looking through that team sheet very quickly, we'll start with the host, St. John's College. Ives comes in for Ntokozo Dlamini. He's unavailable for the match today. Captain there, Luke Klaus. He'll have a wonderful role to play. Bismarck Olivier, he's been a stalwart for the team. And you make mention of Groves there. He did really, really well in that game against King Edward from a couple of weeks ago. That centre combination between Kilbourne and Montgomery has really been working well.
Yes, of course, that St. John's side is one that will be looking really, really dangerous today. And of course, as we've seen on the field, Michaelhouse just joining us now. And we do, of course, have the Michaelhouse first side being captained by Tamsang Ngazakwe at centre, inside centre. And of course, Luke Person is at fullback with Kwanele Kumalo at winger. And then we do have Reynard Pino starting at prop. And of course, at number 2, we got Jamie Dibble, and of course Brandon Jewel completing the front three. In terms of the lock pairing, we do have Gavin Vienstra and Nick Crampton at 4 and 5, and James Armstrong and Luke Stubbs at 6 and 7, and of course Roland van den Berg will be the number 8 for today. Mike Moody will be controlling things at fly half, with Brett Olaman being the one to supply the balls to the man Moody at fly half, with Mark Grant being the other winger. Of course, it's a big one today, Lucky. We do look forward to some really tough rugby, because as we've seen in the past between these two sides.
Certainly so. We'll just wait for the home side to make their way into the field. Michaelhouse has made their way. It was a cracker of a first team hockey match. You'll see a couple of the scholars are making their way from the hockey. We'll just get confirmation of that score in a short while. It'll be interesting to see how Michaelhouse bounce back. They're of course on half term last week, so they're, I'm sure, nice and refreshed. St. John's coming off 2 really, really tough weeks. Nail-biting draw, like you mentioned there, Sfiso 28-all against their neighbours, King Edward, and then last week against Parktown, a comfortable 28-0 victory for them.
Yes, of course, and Michaelhouse are coming back from 2 defeats in a row just before their half-term break, rather, with of course going down on their old boys there against Kearsley College, and then an upset by Northwood School, where they went down by 20 points to 13 there. It was really, really a surprise result, considering the magnitude of what we've seen from Northwood this season. Northwood were definitely a surprise package in that one. But today, of course, everything just starts afresh, and it's a new game. Anything can happen. So we really look forward to some really hard hits in rugby today.
100%. Michaelhouse will certainly be feeling the more confident of the 2-1, judging by the results that have gone their way of the visitors today. And then secondly, of course, last year's massive victory, 46-10 if I'm not mistaken. The visitors took that one away. So a big pressure on St. John's College. I'm sure, however, they will be revitalized by the fact a couple of the players included into the rugby union team seats.
And yes, of course, one interesting fact about St. John's College today, we did see the likes of with Bismarck du Plessis. He was suffering with a bit of flu, and it took, of course, a late test this morning just to see if he was fit enough for the game. And we know how influential he is on the park.
Certainly so, folks. If you're not able to come down and watch this match, you're able to get in touch with us on all sorts of social media platforms, on Twitter, Facebook, and of course streaming live on YouTube. Use the hashtag SSL School Sports Live. That's us. You'll be able to interact, read some out, send your messages of support, and we'll be able to read them out for the two sides.
And of course, it is the St. John's side doing their traditional long walk onto Burger Field here. You can see the boys already hyped up for this one.
Led out by Captain Luke Klaus, as we've mentioned, head coach Harry Visser, and assisted by Peter Murison. The visitors, their head coach, Mr. James Fleming, and assisted by Ryan Strudvik. Let's see how this one goes on. It is set up to be quite a cracker. It'll be an interesting battle. As Fiso, the battle of the two fly halves. They've really had good seasons, as we see old Moody there about to get us started. Michaelhouse in their traditional red and white strip. They will be playing on screen from your left to your right. And the home team, St. John's College, in their navy blue and maroon colours, will be playing from right to left.
And Moody, of course, gets things underway here on Burger Field. It is Tane Maynard who tries to have a little tussle there with Tommy Zagwe, the captain of Michaelhouse. But Zagwe wins the battle with, of course, Michaelhouse bashing it forward early on. But you see them playing some quick ball to Moody there. It is Zagwe who collects and passes it wide. Oh, big hit there by the St. John's College boys. Applying the pressure earlier on. We do see Michaelhouse really going into those physical battles. So we do expect it to be quite a physical game there, Lucky.
Route one, it seems to be for Michaelhouse at the moment. Really doing well, the interplay between the backs and the forwards. And absolutely fantastic work there by Ben Renicle. Getting the first penalty of the day. Referee holding on is the call. The intentions made very, very clear by Michaelhouse there. Keeping it nice and tight. Good direct running. So that loose trio from St. John's College is going to have a tough afternoon for themselves.
Yes, of course, it's going to be tackling all the way. And of course, we do see Bismarck Olafia there finding touch in a fairly good position just outside the Michaelhouse 22-meter area. An opportunity here to set up a strong lineout, maybe perhaps a bit of a maul there, just to get that bit of confidence from the forwards as well early on in the game.
Interesting challenge here for Ives. He's the replacement hooker. Look out for Groves as well. He's an excellent season, the go-to jumper there for the St. John's team, and included into the Golden Lions team over the last week I saw. So he'll have a pivotal role to play here as we see the ball now making its way through. Patha in the centres. Lovely distribution to his centre partner there. Comes again. First time we see the ball in the 22. Work to do here for Luke.
Of course, Luke there managing to clear his lines, but this St. John's decide to take it quickly. You see a big tackle there as the St. John's look to regather themselves. Jacques Bowman playing it through, and it is James Ives who unfortunately looks to have just passed it a bit forward, but play does go on with, of course, Michaelhouse now in possession of the ball.
It's Bills out for Michaelhouse. Some gathering done by the big lock forward there. Oleman to his fly half, Moody.
Unfortunately for Daniel Deeks, St. John's College winger, throwing a bit of a loose pass there, but fortunately St. John's do get the penalty eventually, and there's an opportunity to really apply more pressure on that Michaelhouse defence.
You'll look to get this ball as deep into the 22 as possible. Gets the home side just to the 22 here. Seems to be a full line-out complement for the home side.
Of course, we do see that big jumper there, Groves. He looks ready to collect and really have an impact on this game.
Crompton as well will want to compete there. First knock-on from the visitors and then by Groves. Will scrum down for the first time in this match. Must say, massive front row pack from the visitors. It'll be interesting to see how they scrum down.
Yes, no, definitely there. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. We have seen the St. John's front row as well holding their own against some big packs in the earlier games this season, and it's been a good battle as we see the scrum there. Unfortunately, it does collapse, but the ball is played out. It's Bismarck Field eventually passes it out, and there's Montgomery there who's looking to slice through, and he is eventually tackled just inside the 22-meter area of the visitors' Michaelhouse. The ball is played to Olafia again. It is Groves with a powerful run there. Unfortunately falls short, and it's played again quickly to Montgomery, who slices through. He does look like he's crossed over, and it's a try. A lovely try, well-worked team try there for St. John's College, as Montgomery does manage to cross over the outside centre there for St. John's College. A fantastic move there from the backs, who do eventually break that Michaelhouse defence and get first blood for the day. And it's a successful conversion there, of course, by Olafia. Bismarck Olafia doing well to send it through the sticks and, of course, add the extra 2. The current score does see St. John's College, the host, leading by 7 points to 0 against a Michaelhouse side that have really fired and come on very strong in the start of this game. But it is St. John's College, rather, who do enjoy a slender 7-0 lead. As you see there, Michaelhouse shifting the ball a bit nicely. Bit of a loose pass there by Zakwe, the Michaelhouse captain. But did you see a knock that happened earlier as the referee looks to move it back for a scrum? Ball is played.
Vital here as we see in the replay. Good go forward ball by St. John's College. Groves very much in charge of that operation. And then Montgomery with some wonderful fending to finish off into the corner there for the first 5-pointer of the hosts.
Yeah, like, it's good to see James Ives back, because we know he's been out with a bit of injury. So it's great to see him back on the pitch again. We know how his throws in the lineouts are always on point, and they really help St. John's.
Dominant scrum there from Michaelhouse. It comes now for the captains. Just missing that ball there wonderfully. Would have been gone for all money there. That timing, that precision pass by the captain, Zakwe. Unfortunately, just dropping that ball. Distribution's been really, really wonderful from Michaelhouse. They just need to get that final pass away. They're struggling to do that at the moment. Opportunity now for St. John's just to get themselves out of their half. They'll want to get that ball out quickly. The scrums have really been dominant there from Michaelhouse, as we see a good wraparound there from St. John's. And again, another knock-on. Really breaking the momentum for both sides. They'll want to keep that ball in hand.
Yes, and we see yet another scrum. These boys must be really enjoying the scrums there, because we've had quite a few in the last few minutes as well. But of course it is St. John's College feed, with Michael Bates being the feeder of the ball. You see the referee there as Michael Bates feeds it in, and the Michaelhouse pack looking very, very strong, and they being played inside the Michaelhouse half. And there's an opportunity now to get quite deep into that St. John's half and see, really test out their defensive line-out.
Wonderful scrum there by Michaelhouse. We did say they've got a very, very good pack, and they did wonderfully there in that, as we see, a wonderful jump there by Crampton. First maul of the day that we see. Great discipline there and appreciation for the rules. St. John's College truck and trailer there by Michaelhouse, and a quick tap and go there by Bates. Obviously very keen to get his team out the way. A wonderful chase coming through from Pather. He'll look to apply pressure. Luke's having none of it and clears the lines. And we're back to just before the halfway mark.
Luke again there to save Michaelhouse. He's played a pivotal role in terms of their defense, always managing to clear their lines as well as he saves them one more time. Doing his job very well so far in the match. Of course, it is James Ives who does throw it into the line out, and this Groves with a dummy, and it's Tane Maynard who does eventually collect. And the ruck is formed, and this Michael Bates who feeds it to Bismarck Olafia. Then quickly moves to Kilborn, who tries a little step, but unfortunately throws a pass that goes a bit loose. And it's Bismarck Olafia now with a bit of a run, but he's not moving forward much. But he does eventually dab it through, and it finds touch.
A little bit messy from both teams at the moment. Obviously, since that try has been scored, has been a little bit up and down. They're struggling to get the phases through, are the two sides. I'm sure the coaching staff and the captains of both sides will just want to tell their players, let's get a couple of phases through so we can get over that advantage line.
Of course, it is Michaelhouse now with the throw into the line-out. Of course, this is Jamie Dable, who does feed it in. It's quickly collected by Gavin Vienstra. It's quickly played.
Wonderful run there by Keegan Graham. Great tackle there by Klaus. He was gone for all money, was that? Here's Crampton. Bit of a show and go. Onto the winger there. Back ball inside. Manages somehow to keep it alive, and then finally bustled into touch.
Big defensive effort there by Bowman there, as we see him save Michaelhouse as well, managing to tackle the Michaelhouse man into touch.
Wonderful show and go here. Keeps his arms loose, and a wonderful distribution there to Kumalo. Kumalo did really well here to get that ball inside. Fantastic support play by Puson. He's really had a wonderful start to this game here. And then a tag team of Montgomery and Klaus to finally bundle them out of touch. Pressure throw here for Ives. Intercepted by the Michaelhouse number 1. Ball does come out loose here. Holding is a caller from the referee. Decision time here for Michaelhouse.
Does look as a quick tap and go as the forwards bash it up for Michaelhouse as they edge closer to that try line. As you see the St. John's charges there.
They'll need to be disciplined here. They're way offside there. Inconclusive there from the referee. He'll come back for that penalty there. They need to be careful of that line. St. John's are really not doing themselves any favors by coming off that line far too quickly. It'll be a tap and go option once again, but the body positions are a bit too upright from the men from Michaelhouse.
As they look now to break that St. John's line. St. John's are holding strong so far, but we do see Michaelhouse now just edging just a bit closer to that try line. Of course, it is played short, and it does look as if Michaelhouse have scored that one, and it is Captain Tamsang Zakwe who crosses over for Michaelhouse, not too far away from the uprights, and it's of course Michaelhouse getting that first try of the game. We do see the score now. Of course, we see there Michaelhouse with a bit of a tussle there, using their big forwards to bash the ball up and really pull all the St. John's College defenders in. And the ball is eventually played out wide to captain Samsung Ngazakwe, who plays it short and eventually bundles over right next to the uprights. And of course, it is Gwanele Kumalo now who looks to add the extra 2 for Michaelhouse and level matters here on Burger Field.
That ball seemingly does not want to stay on the tee. Matters not, however, as Kumalo successfully adds the extra 2 points. It's game on here. We're just about halfway through the first half of this game. And it's even Steven, 7-all, converted try to each team here.
Okay, it's definitely a game that we expected to be really, really tight. And of course, it's delivered, of course, with the teams now level at 7-all. As now we see Bismarck.
I'm sure we'll be looking for a very deep restart here as we see that ball making its way into the 22.
There's Kumalo with a bit of a step, but he's eventually bundled into touch.
It's a hive of emotion, as one would expect. Call here going the way of Michaelhouse, however. Defensive line out for the visitors. It's a short option. They give it to the big man Graham. He gets a couple of meters. Oleman will distribute. The other number 1 there, Wills.
It is Michaelhouse still in possession of the ball as I look to break through that midfield area. But they retain possession with Zagwe playing it out wide. It does look like Michaelhouse still on the attack, but still playing in their own half. They'll want to get deep into that St. John's half to apply more pressure.
Playing under advantage now is Michaelhouse. No advantage, calls the referee. He had called them for sealing off. Unable to take advantage of that, they'll come back for the penalty. Looking at the two sides so far, Sfisa, you can definitely see the tactics from the two sides. From the St. John's College, classic Mr. Harry Fissa. Get that ball going as quickly as you can. Get those penalties if you are in possession. Get the ball and the go forward very, very quickly. In terms of Michaelhouse, they're going route 1 on the N1 here. Get the big men involved. Direct running, quick recycling of the ball.
Yes, of course. We have seen Mr. Fissa. He loves his running rugby, of course. We're seeing quite a lot of that. And Michaelhouse with that feed in the lineouts, and they've won their own lineouts. They look to drive forward as they've set up a maul. It does look as if a ruck has been formed now as the ball is played out quickly. It is Moody, feeds in short. See James Murray there collecting. The ball is eventually played out. And it's still the Michaelhouse forwards really taking on that St. John's defense, using that physicality. All right. Ooh. Unlucky there for Michaelhouse.
Very unfortunate there. Correct call from the referee, however. He was the man standing in the way of some St. John's defenders there and has called him back for an unintended obstruction. It will be a scrum just outside the 22 in favor of Michaelhouse. Wonderful platform to attack from here. It is in the center of the field just about, and it gives them a split option as you see the back line lined up here.
Yes, of course, and we see St. John setting up and getting ready for those Michaelhouse attacks, and it is eventually fade out. It is Moody who breaks. He does look like, oh, unfortunately he falls short there with Tate Maynard managing to make that tackle there. And it is Michaelhouse in possession as they edge closer now, looking to play it within the forwards.
St. John's will need to be disciplined here. They were in trouble last time they were here. The big man reaches over. Unfortunately, an accidental obstruction there, running into his own man. And I'm sure a big sigh of relief from the home side.
St. John's College will definitely be proud of that one, with Michaelhouse, of course, being upset that they're getting so close, but just not managing to cross that line. But it's, of course, now a feed for St. John's College as they look to clear their lines.
Remember, folks, send us your messages of support. We'll be able to read them out here for the teams. I'm sure they'll be needing some encouragement as we see Pather now, the big winger. Doesn't make too much ground. Bate, I'm sure, will give himself some room to clear this one.
Does look as if the referee has awarded a scrum there for St. John's.
Wonderful winter's morning so far. A little bit brisky for us that are sitting under the trees, but a good winter's day here up in Johannesburg.
There's, of course, Bates. Feeds that one in. A great scrum by St. John's, but Bates manages to throw the dummy. But it is charged down by Luke there. It is, of course, another scrum to St. John's there. St. John's finding it really hard there, Lucky, to really get out of that danger zone.
They're struggling, Sfiso. You can see the intention of Bates. He's trying to get a little bit of room for the fly halves to clear. Quick restart, showing a little bit of urgency here. The line winning that one. It does, however, to the relief of St. John's, bring play into the half of the visitors.
Long throw there from Michaelhouse. As we see Michaelhouse again in possession of the ball as they move it forward. Send their forwards once more. It is eventually played by Moody. There's short to Brendan. He's unfortunately tackled there. Oh, it's a little dab through there for Michaelhouse, but it is Bowman who collects. But the ball is judged to have gone out there.
It went out direct, so the referee will bring them back. Jeez, Keegan Graham is certainly doing some damage out there on the field. There was a massive hit from him once more into the center of the field, as we saw a little bit earlier. Ives in a similar position to where he was a while ago. Good competing by Michaelhouse. They force the infringement from St. John's. Back down to the scrums.
Fortunately, another knock there from St. John's. Great competing there by Michaelhouse in that line-out.
Captain Zakwe there is sitting really closer to the fly half, and you see Luke Pousson there. I'm sure he's going to be looking to wrap around as we see route one here by the fly half. Wonderful inside ball. It's continued there by the captain Zakwe. Good continuity as we see Murray as well. Makes it inside the 22. And a slight little knock on there will bring that wonderful play to an end.
Some great emotion in this game. As we see the boys there get ready for another scrum. With St. John's College once more getting an opportunity to clear their lines after that magnificent attack there by Michaelhouse. Of course, we saw their backs with the likes of Zakwe and Murray really taking on that St. John's backline and almost producing an opportunity to score another try. Of course, it is Bates who does feed it in. But Michaelhouse do get themselves a penalty.
Fantastic scrum penalty again. Michaelhouse are going to do that all day. St. John's need to make sure that they come up with an alternative. That ball needs to come out there much quicker. So those just to alleviate some pressure there. That's it. Credit to the front row there of Dibble, Pina and Jewel.
And of course, it does look like Michaelhouse are taking the option of going for poles. Of course, it is that man, Wanele Khumalo, the winger, who will look to add the extra 3 and give Michaelhouse the lead for the first time in this game. And we're, of course, just 24 minutes into this game, with just 6 minutes remaining in this first half. Khumalo there once more, just battling to keep that ball still.
Yeah, that T is really not loving that baller.
And of course it is Khumalo who makes no mistake as he adds the 3 points that Michaelhouse will definitely need as they take the lead for the very first time in the game. We do see Michaelhouse 10 points to 7 up against St. John's College. St. John's here, lucky, are definitely shooting themselves in the foot, conceding penalties, unnecessary penalties as well. But of course it was that powerful Michaelhouse scrum that awarded the men from the Midlands that penalty.
Wonderful restart by Bates. Bit of a fumble, but manages to gather, does Crampton. Looking to offer some relief for his team. It was Brett. Did well to stay inside there. Deeks.
Of course it is Bates there now. Plays it out to Olafia. It's played to Captain Klaus, who's eventually
Thumping tackle there. Ives on the ball. He's got number 3s outside if he just has a look. Groves now. Then Deeks. Back on the inside, unfortunately stuck into the touchline.
very unfortunate there for Deeks, because we've seen Daniel Deeks really hit that line quite often and score in the corner, but unfortunately there, a foot in touch, does see Michaelhouse get the throw into the lineout.
Got a bit of a show for us here in the center of the field, eh? Old Brandon Jewell obviously doing lots of work in the field there. Lost his shorts and's got a new pair. Just about fits him.
Yeah, it's looking rather tight there.
Just hit the funny bone, did Khumalo, so just some attention there, and the man is ready to go. Lovely little tap there by Crampton. Makes its way to Captain Zakwe. Fends off one, shrugs off another. Big running now. There's Brandon Jewell once more. Lovely interplay here by Michaelhouse between the backs and the forwards. Comes once more for Pina. Looked a little bit high, but referee seems happy with it.
The pick up and drive there, looking like the option to go to for Michaelhouse as they keep edging closer to that 22-meter area for St. John's. Of course, they are playing to their strengths, using those forwards. Of course, it is eventually played to Moody.
Wonderful line break there, as we see. Khumalo there, just unfortunately unable to get to that ball. They're doing really well to beat their defenders one-on-one. Michaelhouse, anybody getting through the ball as we see here. Defenders beaten their backline against a forwards player. And Deeks doing well just to throw off Khumalo there.
Of course, Jamie Devil plays it in for Michaelhouse. It's a long throw, but unfortunately it's lost. Does look like it's been knocked a bit, and it is St. John's now in possession of the ball as Montgomery takes it up with a little bit of a goose step there.
He's not shy of old goose step Montgomery. Referee was playing advantage for offside. Bismarck Olivier will have an opportunity here to clear the lines. Must be quite taxing out there. Lots of hands on hips from the St. John's side, really looking a little bit overwhelmed.
Yes, no, definitely. They are definitely quite surprised. Of course, down in the Midlands last year, having a fairly easy game against Michaelhouse with that victory that they recorded. One of the biggest victories, in fact, St. John's College has ever had over Michaelhouse. But today is a completely different story, as we see Michaelhouse currently leading the game, and of course it is played short to Patha, who does gain a few meters but is eventually tackled. And it's St. John's now, who's still in possession of the ball.
A little bit messy there. He's got to dig really hard, does Bate. The referee decides to help him out there and awards a scrum to St. John's. Says that ball definitely not coming out. Healthy crowd have come out for this game. A lot of the men from Michaelhouse will have come from this side of town, back in the prep school. So lots of family and friends have gathered for this one.
Yes, of course, Lucky. It's a great outing here on Burger Field at St. John's College. The crowd are also fortunate to be entertained by in a lovely game as well we've seen between these two sides. Very tight at the moment, as we've seen Michaelhouse also creep back into the game and dominate the last few moments. It is Tane Maynard there.
Lovely go forward there by Tane Maynard, and credit to that front row of St. John's making sure that they suck up that pressure. As we see Montgomery again, he always gets over the advantage line, but it doesn't seem anybody is there to support him quick enough.
Bit scrappy once more there from St. John's College, as Michaelhouse now take over possession. It is that big man, Brendan Joel, who does take it up. He's eventually tackled. It does look as if St. John's have quickly turned it over. It's Tane Maynard.
Lovely work by Estienne van der Wout. Numbers here, as we see. Deeks onto the ball. Tries to beat him on the outsides. Gets the ball back inside. Bit of a gamble. Somebody picks it up. Ballman was a man who picked that one up. Bit of a voo-voo pass. It's cleaned up by Kane Wills. Penalty blown here by St. John's. They'll look to want to take it quickly. There's Bate, takes it quickly. Vantage being played. The men are not 10. Numbers onto the side here. Little chicken wing by Bismarck. Olivier. Deeks. Deeks. Try time.
Wonderful there from St. John's College. We do see the chicken wing there by Kilborn, who does eventually play it out to Deeks, who crosses over in the corner. Wonderful try there by St. John's College.
Really does well, the little man. For a little man, he does a lot of work. He decided to go for the outside option, as we'll have a look at that quick replay. There's Bate on the ball. Referee immediately plays the advantage for them not being there. There's that cheeky little chicken wing that comes out. And Deeks does so well here. Beats one defender, beats another. Opts to go for the outside option. Try time. Did well to stay on his legs.
Another classic Daniel Deeks there. We've seen him cross over a few times for St. John's College this season. Another magnificent try there to see St. John's in the lead. Very unfortunate there for Olivier, who just pushes it wide there and fails to add that extra 2. But we do see, of course, St. John's College now leading by 12 points to 10. In a very tightly contested game so far, Lucky.
Couple of minutes left in this half. Let's see who'll have the final say, as we see a big restart there by Luke and a great gather there by Kumalo. He eventually makes his way to ground. Big number 8 onto the ball there. Vandenberg, great carry from him. A little bit sloppy, but Crampton's a man to clean up. Not shy of a step and go, that man. Advantage being played by the referee in favor of Michaelhouse.
Because of course Michaelhouse, who are looking rather strong, revived now as they look to surge forward, and it is another penalty. Perhaps you're lucky, maybe take the points just before halftime and just see if you can enjoy the lead.
wanting just to keep that scoreboard ticking. Khumalo will look to gift 3 points to his side.
Of course, we do see there Khumalo adding the 3 there to see Michaelhouse enjoy a 13-12 lead over St. John's College as the referee decides to call the halftime break. Of course, it is St. John's College 12, Michaelhouse 13.
Plenty for the coaches to say, and I'm sure everybody needing a bit of a drinks break. It is 13 points to 12. The visitors are in the lead, and we'll see you back with us after this short break. Second half about to kick off. Lovely try scored by both sides. We saw Jack Montgomery as well as Deeks over the line for St. John's, and then we saw the big men from the Midlands converting for them. It's tight and even, Stevens. What have been the coach's messages through the half there, Sfiso?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm sure Mr. Fisser there would have wanted his boys to pick up the tempo a bit and start playing to their strengths. Of course, using that backline. We've seen the backline have got very quick feet there for St. John's College. And I'm sure the Michaelhouse coach would have definitely said, stick to your structures as well and just keep that ball within the forwards as well, because they are definitely gaining the meters necessary.
The forward coach from Michaelhouse would have been very impressed with his players. I'm sure wanting more of the same. As we see Vandenberg, massive carry from him. Jewel, he's not tired. He's going to just go route one once more. Nicer through the hands.
There's the person there who does collect. It is that big number 8, Roland Vandenberg again with the carry. He's quickly tackled short. It is Joel again. Looking to bulldoze his way through, and he gains a few meters. There's Michaelhouse now looking to be on the front foot here. Let's do a little step there. And this Groves who makes the tackle for St. John's College. Just inside the St. John's half. As Michaelhouse continues to add the pressure. And it is eventually... it is a scrum awarded to Michaelhouse for that knock there by St. John's College. I'm sure these Michaelhouse boys, Lucky, will be rather happy to scrum all day, because we've seen the strengths that they do possess in that scrum.
Certainly so. No changes at the break, just having a quick pan across the field. Apart, of course, from a new pair of shorts for Jewel. No other changes to take note of. As we see the first scrum of the half. Another thumping scrum there by Michaelhouse. Ball does come out.
Zagwe there with the take. He takes it into contact there. And there's a ruck that's formed there. It is Joel again. He looks to bulldoze, but this time he goes backwards. That's 10 Maynard there with the hit for St. John's. Of course, it is Michaelhouse still in possession of the ball as it's looking to be played out wide. And there's a little bit of a goose step there before taking the contact there by Michaelhouse. And we do see St. John's eventually getting a penalty now. Another opportunity to perhaps just play that line out, or maybe a quick tap and go. And it does look as if Bismarck Olivier is stepping up to try and find touch and get St. John's in a bit of a better position there on the field.
Lovely work there by Luke Klaus, the captain. Straight over the ball, and Bismarck will want to get this ball as far as possible into the stands of the visitors. Let's see if the lineouts can improve. A little bit shaky in the first half. No clear communication from hooker to jumper. Wonderful take there. Ives and Maynard combining well. First maul we see. Doesn't make too much headway. Bismarck. Still Bismarck. Wonderful take by Kilbourne. Bismarck once more. Now it's Pather. Pather to Montgomery, who drops his lipstick. Advantage to Michaelhouse. Wonderful football skills are on show here. Good gather by the captain. Very loose the ball here. The halfback decides to have a bit of a dart himself. And a slight little knock on that brings that game to the end.
Michaelhouse very unlucky there, that they didn't manage to really finish off that move well. Some fancy footwork as well there, as we saw the ball just being dabbed through and eventually picked up by Zakwe there. Unfortunately, it does end with a St. John's College St. John's College scrum. An opportunity for them once more to get their the ball being played upfield rather than deep in their own half. It is
They
Bates
will
who
not
does
want
feed it in.
to concede the ball here as we see the ball come out. Wonderful stepper is Bismarck. Ill discipline there by the player. Sees the ball quickly taken on. He's got no one in support with him. It comes now for Pather. Doesn't look to be too sure of what he's doing, Pather. Ball eventually lands inside of the 22. Play on, says the referee. Some work here to do for Ballman. Decides to hoist the ball. Plays everybody on side, does Ballman. Sees some space over the top, does Luke Posen. Gathered by Deeks. It's a little bit isolated, but does well, the little man. Up and over, he'd send somebody. He needs support, does Montgomery. Fantastic carry.
Of course, now St. John's in control of the ball as we see Bates there. Unfortunately, Ives does look as if he has knocked it, but it is a call from the referee that is a penalty. An opportunity for Michaelhouse to extend their lead now. Of course, we do see the Michaelhouse leading the host St. John's College by 13 points to 12 so far in this game.
You'd have seen in the picture there, jersey number 20 from Michaelhouse making his way onto the park. Banelis Tole. Kick not successful there. 22-meter dropout will be the option. Jackie Pitt, we see you. I see you're in support of the man, Kwanelo Kumalo. Thanks very much for reaching out. So to Reese Dillon, campaigning for the college, he says. Do keep those comments coming. I'm sure they'll need as many of them as possible.
And we do, of course, see a scrum now in the center of the field. It does look as if as well St. John's have also made a change now with, of course, Kellen Wills going off with Tawanda coming on as a sub for St. John's College there. There's Michael Bates there with the feed, but the referee does demand a reset there from the two sides.
They did well to manage the Michaelhouse scrum last time. But this time, however,
it'll be interesting to see here which option they do go for, with the poles also being in sight. But the distance may be just a bit of a concern there for Michaelhouse, as we see them looking to go for touch now. And it is Michaelhouse finding the touch just outside the 22-meter area of St. John's College.
good to see Michaelhouse got a number of kickers. We just saw Mark Grant take the kicking duties there. Kumalo has a bit of a go sometimes, and so does Michael Moody, so plenty of options in the kicking department. As you saw, just a skew ball there for Michaelhouse. They won't mind too much if this goes down to a scrum, which it does.
You know, Lucky, I would really love to see the St. John's backs really running at the Michaelhouse defense now, because we've seen in past weeks what they are capable of. Of course, it is Michaelhouse who've won that scrum there with Zakwe taking it up there. And
Beautiful running, ball in both hands. There's that man's Tolle that we were speaking to. Keeping it nice and tight. High there from Groves. Acknowledged by the referee. Advantage being played. Options both left and right. They do have an overlap. A slight one to that right-hand side.
This now an opportunity in a much better position to actually kick at goal for Michaelhouse, and it does look as if they have opted to take the 3 points.
Yeah, no, the guy with the T, as the whistle hadn't even left for the referee's mouth and he was on the field already, so I think the intention, certainly from the management staff, was quite clear on that one.
Yeah, it is this time. We do see Kumalo lining it up right in front of the poles, just on the 22-meter line. And Kumalo adds the extra 3, and it does see Michaelhouse lead now by 16 points to 12. In a rather interesting game, because of course we are just 11 minutes into that second half. Still plenty of time and for St. John's to find their way back. And of course it was also enough time for Michaelhouse to extend their lead even further.
First points of the second half. It is a 4-point gap. Michaelhouse doing well just to keep that scoreboard ticking over again. Change of direction for Bait. Olivia rather. There's Crampton. He's been a good runner of the ball for Michaelhouse. Good gather here. Bismarck. Now Montgomery. Line is going to win that one. Could see the idea behind it, but what's putting the St. John's guys under pressure is that quick line from Michaelhouse. They're really rushing it. They need to distribute that ball a little bit quicker, do St. John's, and they need to straighten that line. They're running a little bit out of space as soon as they get to the far side of the field.
Yes, of course, and I really think you're lucky. The team that will win here is the team that was going to be calm and approach the game with a cooler head. And as we see, St. John's looking to take the ball, but it is eventually knocked down. It does look as if it is another Michaelhouse scrum this time around. Michaelhouse definitely looking like they want this one more. So at the moment, they're lucky. They're really dominating the physical battles as well. And with their backline, you can never be too sure what's going to happen, because we've seen the pace of Zakwe, the captain, who's been magnificent so far today, with him combining very well with Murray as well.
It's battle of the war cries at the moment between the two schools. It's really become a sight to see and a delight to hear. Michaelhouse seeming to have found their voice now after those 3 points that were added.
It is Bates now. He takes it up himself, and he does look to step inside, but he goes outside and eventually loses the ball. There's a knock. Michaelhouse now with an opportunity. An opportunity to attack, and it is Bowman there who's picked up and bundled into touch. And it is a Michaelhouse feed into that line out. As we see the Michaelhouse boys there, up in song, really excited, seeing their team, of course, leading the game so far. So they'll definitely be the happier of the two schools at the moment.
Yeah, they're not tied after That bus drive, as we see Jewel onto the ball. Gets a couple of meters for his side. It comes now for Pina. Counter-ruck seems good from St. John's. That ball comes out quickly. Renickel's got to clean up. Wonderful regather there by Kilbourne. Comes now for Montgomery. He's got Pather on his outside. He does not need him. It's Jack Montgomery. It's Jack Montgomery. That's a wonderful try. Absolutely brilliant from Jack Montgomery. Had a look on his outside. He had Pathe, said, no, I don't need you. I'm going all the way.
And of course, there, as we see the replay there, we see Jack Montgomery with a powerful run and he shows some speed, and then he just takes out the hand and a little bit of a handoff. And we do see him crossing over the line. Fantastic move there, which was started in the 22-meter area of St. John's College with Bismarck Olafia just damming the ball through, and the favourable bounce falling straight to Kilbourne, who eventually collects and feeds it out wide to Jack Montgomery, who eventually finishes off a lovely team move there. As we were speaking earlier on, Lucky, we did speak of that backline really being able to expose a lot of defensive teams this season so far.
True. Credit as well there to Bismarck Olafia. We spoke about how quickly that St. John's line does come up, and for him to dab that ball a little bit over the top there, absolutely brilliant.
And of course, a successful conversion there from Bismarck Olafia adds the extra 2. And of course, we do see St. John's College enjoying their lead now by 19 points to 16. Still a long way to go with this game, as we of course. And you see there, Jack Montgomery breaking hard there. He had an option to feed it inside, but he opts to go around the outside. He, of course, fends off Luke Person there before diving over for the try.
Wonderful there on the replay. We are back live. We're just on the halfway mark as we see Tate Maynard. Tate Maynard had taken that ball there. It was illegally ripped by one of the men from Michaelhouse after a warning from the referee. And that has resulted in a yellow card. Wonderful platform here for St. John's to launch an attack, as we see the big and powerful Crampton making his way off the field. It does look... No, it's not Crampton. I'll get a confirmation for you to see who's that man that's going to spend some time in the sin bin. But for the next couple of minutes, they will be men down, will Michaelhouse.
It is Ives now. We'll look to combine with Groves with this one. It's a great combination there as Groves collects, and it is more there, but eventually is a ruck as we look at Ives feeding it to Bates, and then Bismarck quickly playing it inside to Kilbourne. Kilbourne running sideways straight into the traffic again as he's eventually tackled. And there's another penalty to St. John's as they look to take it quickly with Michael Bates. Very tricky character to... And it does look as if Daniel Deeks has crossed over there for a magnificent try there for St. John's. Of course, his second one of the day as well. And a beautiful reply there from St. John's College. Now, of course, 24 points to 16 rather. Of course, awaiting that conversion attempt from Olafia.
Ill disciplines really letting Michaelhouse down. St. John's will not be complaining. We see a quick little tap through. And there's that big little man again. It's Deeks. Really does well to stay on his feet and hits that whitewash to guarantee another 5 points the way of the home side. Bismarck just having to reorganize the field there so it can suit his kicking. The Beautiful kick there by, jeez, he's having a great game, isn't he, old Bismarck Olivier. Time and time again, really showing up every single Saturday. That's what you want to see from your flower half. Really been a wonderful pivot for the Blues.
Yes, of course, his kicking has been magnificent so far in this game, as we've seen him convert all of the tries that have been scored by St. John's College. Of course, Daniel Deeks now has just a brace of tries.
Groves slipped that ball, quickly gathered there by Kumalo. Michaelhouse right back in it. They go, route one in with Jewel in possession. Now he's a prop partner, Pina. They keep it with the big men, slowly making meters. Keeping it in and amongst that tight five. Very patient are Michaelhouse as the ball does now come for Murray. There's Jewel again. Ball comes for Captain Zakwe. There's Crampton. Not too much room for him to maneuver.
There's, of course, Michaelhouse still in possession of the ball, applying the pressure, looking to reply very well. And, of course, they are eventually awarded a scrum at a very good position, even though we do see them with a man down still.
They've done good work. So two things those tight forwards are doing there, Sfiso. They're keeping the ball nice and tight, and two, hopefully that clock is going down a little bit so that they're able to get their man back onto the park. Let's hear from all of you from the Midlands. I'm sure Michaelhouse are needing your support at the moment. It's been a quick flurry of tries, two of them in a space of about 3 minutes, making the score 26 points to 16.
Definitely a lovely game here so far. It's really hard to tell who the better team is here so far in this game, because we've seen both Michaelhouse and St. John's dominate periods of the play. And of course, it is Michaelhouse now with an opportunity to cut the deficit to just 3 points. And it is St. John's College who eventually get a penalty because of that scrum. Really big effort there from the St. John's College forwards, as we look at Bismarck, who decides to take it quickly and take it up himself. He's got options to pass it wide, and he does get Deeks. We see Deeks. Unfortunately, Deeks is eventually tackled there, but it's St. John's who continue with Tain Maynard, who plays it out wide to Montgomery.
Renikel brought down there just outside the 22. They lined up St. John's. Captain Luke Klaus comes again for Bismarck. Now to Kilbourne. Kilbourne sees a wonderful gap with Jack Montgomery. He'll go over for his brace in this match. I don't think Jack Montgomery could believe it. He received the ball, he looked up, and there was nothing in front of him.
All the space in the world there. Magnificent try there by Montgomery. Great effort to get his second, and of course his team's fourth. Of course, now we do see St. John's leading by 31 points to 16.
That ball was obviously taken very quickly up into the line. Quick recycling there. Look at Kilbourne, he cleverly holds the ball up, and Jack Montgomery cannot believe his luck as he goes over for 5 more points.
The passion in the world there by Montgomery, as we see now. This Michaelhouse lining it up to try and add that extra 2 and really take the game further away from Michaelhouse. It does look good, and the touch judges love it as well, and it is the extra 2 there by Olivier. Now the score does see St. John's leading by 33 points to 16.
Slowly but surely running away with it here are St. John's. Plenty of time though for Michaelhouse to come back. We're just about 23 minutes into the second half. St. John's successfully able to capitalize on Michaelhouse being a man down. Full of running is this Blue team now, as we see that man Bismarck Olivier again. He gets that man Ives does well to come back on the inside.
There's a penalty there for a deliberate knockdown there by Michaelhouse. As you saw Luke Person there attempting to grab the intercept, but unfortunately not being able to keep the ball in hand. Of course, it is a penalty to St. John's College. As you see now, Bismarck Olafia feeding it wide to Ives, and Ives does look to go back inside, and he tries to feed it out wide, but it is Luke Person who does interrupt that St. John's College attack, and there's a penalty. Bismarck looks to tap it. It is Kilborn now with the ball. Feeds a strong pass to 10 Maynard. Dashes down the touchline, but unfortunately he gets his ankle clipped. As we see St. John's College now moving forward. Great patience. We do see Luke Klaus there taking it up, the St. John's College captain. Here's Michael Pate now. Does play it to 10 Maynard. Unfortunately failing to keep the ball there. There's Jacques Bowman who does race back. Unfortunately for St. John's College, that move ends with Michaelhouse being awarded with the scrum there in their own 22-meter area. Of course, there we do see the change for Michaelhouse with Andrew Daly taken to the field there. Maybe perhaps bringing something new to the side there that they'll definitely be needing, as we see Daly there on the side of the pitch. Business College to extend their lead even further. As we do see,
I'd fancy myself an 8 pickup here.
Unfortunately,
a little bit
he
too
fails.
eager was Maynard. A lot of the men from Michaelhouse will be former teammates of his. Maynard started off here at St. John's College, then made his way down to the Midlands, decided didn't like the weather and came back to St. John's.
Yes, of course, they'll definitely be familiar with him, and he'll definitely be the happier of the two as well. Being grateful to being in the St. John's side that are actually winning today. So it's a fantastic thing there. As of course we do see Zeri Gondwe there coming onto the field of play. Of course, replacing captain Luke Klaus there. There's a big scrum there by Michaelhouse. As we see Vandenberg again with a bursting run. As it just falls just outside his 22-meter area. An opportunity for Joel as well to take the ball up and try to bulldoze his way through. He's eventually tackled there by Groves. Yes, that they're afforded. And immediately we see Zeri Gondwe getting involved, making the tackles and looking for that ball. As Joel again bashes it up. Michaelhouse showing great patience here, keeping it within the forwards as well, keeping it really tight and not throwing it around. As you see, it's a wonderful run there by Kumalo. Does look to kick it through, but
He's really been in the thick of things, old Zed. He's been on the park for about 20 seconds and having to make quite a number of tackles. St. John's doing well just to restrict Michaelhouse and keep them in their half. Referee awarding a penalty to Michaelhouse rather.
of course it makes sense for Michaelhouse. So of course, just try to get closer to that danger zone. Of course, with the line out being set up now, just inside the St. John's half. I see an opportunity here for a great line out and perhaps just releasing their backs as well, getting them running. As we've seen, they've been quite threatening there, especially when you look at that centre pairing of Zakwe and Murray.
Full of carnival and jubilation are the St. John's supporters, and why wouldn't you be? Been a wonderful display of rugby thus far from their team. Another overthrow we see there. Zedi Gondwe bashes his way up to the top. And a slight knock on there.
Of course, it is the referee there calling for that knock that resulted from that line out. he's got stuck in immediately as he's come onto the pitch there. We've just seen a carry from him there, but we've seen him making tackles as well, and really looking to get St. John's that ball when they were starved of the ball by Michaelhouse.
Very interesting here. You just saw Deeks come off his wing, almost into a fullback position here, with Ballman and Montgomery very close to each other here. Be interesting to see what these backline players have got up their sleeve. Ball does need to come out of the scrum first. It does so now. Comes for Kilborn, who's at first receiver.
Very loose pass there, but Panther does manage to gather, and he does gallop on the wing now as he looks to step inside, and he's eventually tackled, and Bismarck is quickly onto the ball with Michael Bates feeding it to Ives. Ives feeds it short into Zeddy.
Lovely hands there by them. Advantage being played by the referee, which is why that cheeky little kick by Bate. Offside was the call from the referee. What do you do now, Sfiso? Captain Luke Klaus is off the park, so not too sure who's taken over the armband. I will assume it will be Bismarck.
And it does look like he's opted to go for poles. He's really backing himself today, which is something that you
why
always...
not? Why not? I'd also back myself. He's an absolute
Yes, no, definitely.
thunder of the game.
And that's something that you really always want from your fly half at all times. Really great as we see the half man there taking the cone onto the pitch.
Yeah, everybody not very happy with the half man. He's got one job, just run onto the field whenever they need you. Huh?
Yeah,
I think he got a bit sucked into the festivities of the St. John's crowd. He does make it out onto the field, however. Something tells me he might not keep his job for much longer.
The boys, they're definitely frustrated as we see Bismarck on the field now lining it up from the 10-meter mark. And of course, unfortunately, it swings it just wide from about 40 meters out. Decent attempt there by Olafia. He'll definitely be kicking himself, especially considering the form that he's been having of late with his boots, especially in this game. We've seen him convert all 4 of the tries St. John's College have scored so far.
Couple of minutes remaining in this one, folks. Got about 3 or so minutes to see how this one does end. The referee bringing them back there, hopefully for the last scrum of the day.
Michaelhouse will definitely be kicking themselves for the way that this game has ended, because we did see them really challenge and at some stages look a really, really threatening side. They looked really great and they looked really in great position to actually win the game as well, but things just seem to slip away towards the end there.
Certainly did show a lot of promise in the beginning, and very much so in the upper hand in the physical sense and in the territory game as well. Maynard gets that ball out. Fancy footwork by Kilborn.
And there's Michael Bates who stood out, and the game is ended by the referee, which sees St. John's College victors on the day, beating Michaelhouse by 33 points to 16. An incredible game, Lucky. We really were treated to a great affair between these two fine schools. Really, really something interesting there, but of course Michaelhouse had the opportunity to win the game, but unfortunately St. John's College did prove a bit stronger. Perhaps maybe it does factor in that St. John's are playing at home and Michaelhouse have travelled quite a distance to come here and entertain us here on Burgerfield.
Home ground advantage always does play a factor. It does end here at St. John's College, like Sfiso said, by 33 points to 16. Absolutely fantastic performances by the likes of Brandon Jewell from Michaelhouse. Luke Pousson had a wonderful dab at the back there as well. From the St. John's College side, another fantastic performance from Bismarck Olufia, ably supported by his halfback Michael Bate. He led from the front, Luke Klaus, and wonderful work by Alex Groves as well. Jack Montgomery will be feeling wonderful after his brace, and he was ably supported by another brace coming from young Deeks. Kumalo from Michaelhouse will feel a little bit underdone by him, and Zakwe had a fantastic game as well from the visitors. Wonderful game of schoolboy rugby. There had to be a winner. It was St. John's College who were the victors on the day. From my co-commentators, Fiso Nyawa, and myself, Lucky Letsabo, and the entire School Sports Live production team, remember, let the kids play. Bye for now.
Brad. Take a picture here.
van der Westerhuizen.
Tian Swanepoel, and in the wing,
Superb flick.
in die rechtervleugel.